Hey, good morning everyone. It's Wednesday. Good morning. I think you probably know what day it is, but you know what it is? Lockdown, Groundhog Day, what day it is, who knows? But I think it's Wednesday. I'm not sure why, just because we're doing asparagus. And I knew we were doing asparagus on Wednesday, so therefore it must be Wednesday. But good morning everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen, and hope you are all doing okay. The sun is shining in Sydney. It's another beautiful day. Honestly, I think we've just passed over winter. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I do need a bit of winter. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for spring yet. I just want to have some winter. Anyone else want winter? Took my glasses off because I can't find my other glasses. So I've got my older glasses, and I don't think that, not sure that I can read so well. Good morning, Dorothy. Hello, everyone. Thanks for the waves and the hellos. Hey, Linda, how are you? Good morning, Lisa. Great to see you. So good to see everybody here. Esther, hello. Oh, it's my favourite part of the morning. Got my cup of tea. All my friends are coming on. I mean, all of you, actually. You are my friends and new family, and I love it. I hope the sun is shining where you are. Who wants winter? Still in Sydney. Yeah, Linda, you're in the States, so it's hot there. So we're just still winter. It's August, it's winter, it should be snowing in the mountains, and it should be cold here. We should be sitting by the fire, and we should be making soup and stews and ossobuco and all that stuff. But now we're like thinking salad and spring, and it's a bit weird. So let's go with the salad thing, right? Oh, sorry it's miserable on the Sunshine Coast. I think that that's a shame because it's always sunny there, right? Yeah, and yes, sorry for Lisa if you're in quarantine. That sucks big time. I guess it doesn't matter what the weather's like when you're inside. You want it to be winter though. Yeah, see, Nebulous 2001 loves winter like I do. I don't love any season more than the other. I just love all the seasons. I like to experience the seasons, and then it's cold, and then it's middle, and then it's warm, and then it's middle again. Like, that's what I like. Anyway, let's talk salad. So I just want to tell you, for those of you who joined me yesterday for the salad bar day, I was so happy, apart from the big bloody mess in my kitchen, which took me, quite a while to get through. I now have a fridge full of salad, which is going to last us the week. And Danny, who some of you have seen on here, husband, said to me this morning, I promised him a salad yesterday for lunch today to take to the office, and of course I forgot. And then this morning I had like 6 minutes, and he said, oh, where's that salad? And I'm like, oh, shit, forgot. So this is literally what I did. I went to my fridge, I pulled out all those decor containers, put them on the bench, took the lids off, got last night's leftover chicken, got a little bit of goat's cheese, got a big stainless steel bowl, went to every decor, handful, chicken, cheese, dressing, toss, into another container, lunch. Literally 3 minutes. I just can't tell you what a great thing it is to have a fridge full of salad. I love it. And some of you may have seen on Insta stories, I have ordered a Luke Mangan beef pie for dinner. Perhaps not the healthiest choice, don't judge. But I'm going to make a big salad to go with it. My aim is to have like a little bit of pie and a big bowl of salad. Let's see how I go on that. I'm not sure that's going to work out exactly that way, but you know what? I'm not going to tell you what I ordered for dessert from him because you're going to judge me. For sure you're going to judge me. Yeah, I'm glad you think Danny is lucky, Nebulous 2001. I think he's lucky too. I think so. Not sure he always feels the same way. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to tell you what I ordered for dessert from Luke Mangan. Perhaps if it's great, I will share it. Not the actual thing, but what it is. Anyway, all right, let's start asparagus. My tea's so lovely this morning. All right, we ready to go? Okay, this is a great salad. Remember back in the day, we used to have people over for lunch or dinner. You used to make plans a couple of weeks ahead, and you invited friends for Sunday lunch, and then they'd come over, maybe 8 or 10 people. And remember that time we used to sit around a table together and used to talk and drink wine and eat food, and remember how great that was? Well, let's aim for that again one day. But at the moment, we're just going to practice all these dishes so that when we get to have friends again, we'll just be pros at it, okay? So this is fabulous for home, for 2 of you, for 1 of you, for your family, but really good for visitors. It's do ahead. Don't mind eating cooked asparagus at room temperature. That's the thing with entertaining. I find that a lot of people feel pressure to have everything hot. And it really doesn't have to be. And whenever I decide a menu for entertaining, or even for my family on a Friday night, I know that not everything can be piping hot. It's impossible to cook for 10 people and have everything hot. So you've got to have maybe, your salmon dish will be at room temperature, or maybe you won't do roast potatoes and roast beef. You'll do, roast beef and something that heats up on the stove, that sort of thing. I'm getting off topic here. Okay, so back to the asparagus. Asparagus in Australia is just coming into season right now. Its season is September till March, I think, and it will just become more plentiful. It's just starting now. I always like to ask my fruit shop. They don't always know the answer, where it's from. Often it says grown in Australia. Sometimes I don't always trust the signs. I know I said to someone this morning, I'm just not sure if I can trust the signs. And they said, no, it's law. They have to say, if they say grown in Australia, then it is. But I sent an email to Harris Farm actually 3 days ago, maybe 2 days ago, maybe on Monday, to say, where's your asparagus grown? I'd like to know more about it. And I have not heard back yet. I know they're busy, but I would like to hear back. Thank you, Jane, for not judging me. Thank you. And she said she'd be ordering Luke Mangan too, if she was close enough to his hub. All right, let's talk asparagus. So what I found this week, and I did go to Harris Farm to get it because Coles has Mexican asparagus, nothing wrong with that, but I'm looking for Australian at the moment. And my big grocer also has Mexican at the moment. So yeah, Melanie bought Mexican ones, which is fine. We've got to support the trade between Mexico and Australia. I'm sort of in a dilemma about that, and I was talking, we can talk more about that later. Let's get on with this, okay? We'll talk about trade, and should we support Mexico by buying their asparagus, or do we buy Australian only? Like, I never want to buy peaches and stone fruit from California when it's winter here. I want to not eat them, because when they come into season in Australia in November, December, that's when I want to eat them. But then I feel bad. What if California buys, mangoes from us or whatever it is? And if we stop buying their stone fruit, maybe they'll stop buying our mangoes. I mean, that's something we've got to have a discussion about, people, but not today. So I bought 2 slots of asparagus. There was these skinny ones. And the thing with the skinny ones is they cook very quickly. You don't have a lot of leeway with them. And then I bought these ones, and they were called Giant, or...
I'm not sure I understand.
I wasn't talking to you. Yeah, so I bought these ones. These are called, what are they called? Fat or Giant, or I can't remember. But they're fat and they're giant. And I'm hoping that they're lovely. I'm going to cook both of them, and we'll see which ones are good. So, I did just drop one on the floor. I'll just move that aside. Okay, so the thing with asparagus is that they say that if you snap it, and it's fresh, where it breaks is where you trim it. So I normally just break one of them, because I don't like, sometimes it doesn't always break nicely. And then I line all the others up and trim the bottom just where the one broke. So that's how to work out how much of the base to trim, okay? And I'm going to put those in the compost, okay? I don't know if you guys have compost in your council, but we have green bins where we are. And what I do is I have a big Tupperware thing, take a container by my chopping board over there by the sink, and all my lemon skins and chopping remnants and all that stuff that I can't use for stock or anything go in there, and then I wrap it in newspaper and put it in my compost every week, and it's good. Make me feel like I'm doing something. I don't like to put food scraps into the red bin. I hope you're not doing that. I'm not judging, but if you are doing that, can you stop doing that and put it in the green bin? Okay, so these have been washed. I've trimmed them now. They don't need anything else done to them. They're ready to cook. I'm just going to put them aside for a moment. And these big ones, geez, they're huge. I did snap one of them earlier, and it snapped there, and you can see I need to cut off that much from the bottom of the stalk. These are huge. I hope they're good. I'm scared they're not going to be. I'm Scared they're going to be tough and stringy, but let's see. So let's cut these as well. So trim your asparagus. You see what I'm doing? I snapped one of them and it came to there. I'm going to cut them all, the rest of them, at that point. Okay, so be good to hear back from Harris Farm, but it's always good to ask, and then you can make the decision whether you're happy to buy Mexican or from Peru or from Australia. I do try to buy Australian produce where I can. I really do. Okay, again, I'll just snap this one. So that's where it snaps. So that's where I'm going to trim. These feel a bit soft, I've got to say, these big fat ones, which makes me think that they're not so fresh, which makes me think that they're not from Australia, but I don't know. All right, asparagus ready. We're going to cook that at the last minute. Let's talk about the rest of the ingredients. Okay, cherry tomatoes. So many options here in Australia. Look at the packet, look at the thing it comes in and see the grower, look it up, see what you think. Do you like the way, I think all Australian growers are doing a great job. Most of these are glasshouse tomatoes in winter and maybe all year round, I don't know. But I bought these ones called the Tiny Toms, which are really tiny, which are lovely. I've been eating them all morning just so I can report back to you. These are really sweet and lovely. These might be the Mona Lisa grape tomatoes, which are also really lovely. And then there's I call them the supermarket cherry tomatoes, the round ones. Some of them are really have no flavour. And then these are the heirloom tomatoes, the coloured ones that come in those in the tub, and they're all different colours. Again, some of those are good and some of them not. What I find is if I buy cherry tomatoes and they're not sweet, this is what you need to do to turn them into something delicious, okay? You need to get a bowl and a sharp knife, and we're just going to cut them in half, crossways. I always cut them across so that I've got the two ends and cut them like that in half. And I will cut a few, and we'll use these for the salad. So let's choose this. We need about 3/4 of a cup. The measurements are very vague. If you like more tomatoes, have more tomatoes. So we've got 2 bunches of asparagus. We've got 3/4 of a cup of cherry tomatoes, or the heirloom ones, the grape ones, the yellow ones, the tiny ones, whatever you like. But if you've got the tiny ones, you probably don't need to cut them in half. But I just want to show you this trick, which we do all the time at our place when the cherry tomatoes aren't to our liking. I'll just show you a few. So you just halve them like that, and then get some salt, okay? And I want to tell you guys about Epsom salt. If I haven't told you already, I'll tell you in a minute when everything's cooking. I'm just going to put some salt into my little salt dish. Okay. Remind me to tell you about the special with Epsom salt, the special deal for you guys, okay? And I'm just going to salt the tomatoes quite generously. You can see quite a lot of salt. And I'm just going to let them sit, and they can sit like that for an hour or 2 hours. Every time I make like bruschetta, with chopped tomato on toast, I'll do this to the tomatoes first. It just enhances the sweetness. Some juice comes out, which is good, and it enhances the sweetness. So that's what I would do to tomatoes that aren't, I'd actually do them almost every time I use cherry tomatoes. So let's carry on with this and add to this for today's recipe. 3/4 of a cup, I'm going to use some of the tiny ones, which I'm not cutting in half. I'm going to use some of the coloured heirlooms because I like the colours. I think they look really nice, and I have washed these. And the tiny ones you don't need to cut in half, but the big ones you do, okay? Oh great, Marcel ordered the special yesterday. I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, so cut them in half. I love these coloured ones. I think they look really gorgeous. But if you've just got the red ones, they're also fine. Don't feel pressure. Don't want you to have tomato envy, okay? You can just order whichever tomatoes you like. If they're not sweet, salt them first for an hour. If they are sweet, just carry on, okay? That looks like about 3/4 of a cup. And I've got a nice mix of all of them, okay? We are eating lots of these at the moment, so I've just got them all, and we'll get through these in the next couple of days. Okay, I'm going to put those aside. And I just want to show you, I'm just going to mix all the salt through, and that's my tomatoes for this dish, okay? Yum. Okay, tomatoes. Next ingredient we need, parsley. if you don't love parsley, just is such a nice addition to it. If you like, you could use chives, you could use coriander, you could use mint, you could really use lots of different things. And here I'm going to remove the leaves, but you know what, sometimes as you know, I feel a bit lazy, so I just cut the leaves off the top with the fine stalks, and I can chop them up, and I don't mind them in the salad, really. They're okay. So about that much parsley, which is about a half a bunch, more or less. No, probably a third of a bunch. Take out any big stalks, and it's just been washed and dried, and now I'm going to chop it roughly. I sprinkled the flaky sea salt, the Malden, see, not the Malden. Used to use the Malden every single second. If you've got Malden, use that, but I used the Olsen Blossoms, which I'm in love with, as you know. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that Olsen's don't send to New Zealand. We'll have to do something about that. I hope you sent them. I hope that you did send them a message, because I'll do the same and see if we can get them to change. Even we ship to New Zealand. We don't ship to America from here. Books and aprons, it's just too hard. But we do ship to New Zealand. I'm happy to say. All right, so just chop this up roughly. I want it roughly because it's a very rustic dish, okay? And I want to taste the leaf of the parsley, okay? So I'm just going to put the parsley roughly chopped in with my tomatoes for the moment, okay? I'm going to drain my tomatoes, but the parsley won't get in the way. Then we need hazelnuts. Now, hazelnuts are great in this. If you buy raw hazelnuts, which you probably do, they've got brown skin on them. And what you need to do is you need to cook them in the oven at about 160 for about 15 minutes. You need to take them out of the oven, let them cool a little bit, put them in a tea towel like this. I'm just going to move this, I don't need that at the moment. So let's pretend hazelnuts in the oven, 160, 15 minutes. Bring them out, tip them into your tea towel like this. Wrap them up and go like this. And it's going to get all the skin off. And then the skin will be on your tea towel, which you'll chuck into the bin. And then you'll take this off and you'll have beautiful hazelnuts. You can see some of the skin has already come off, but these are already done. And then you get lovely hazelnuts that are toasted or roasted and ready to put in here. Another thing you can do, if you have hazelnuts with the skins off already, but they are not golden enough, or you want to cook them a bit more, put a bit of olive oil in a pan and toss them for a couple minutes in hot oil. Okay, but mine are already done, so I can go ahead to the next step, which is to chop them. And we need about it's up to you again. Hazelnut stuff. About a third of a cup. Again, measurements are unimportant for salads, okay? They are super important for baking, but unimportant for salads. Wendy, thank you for that. So Woolworths stock the Olsen salt, but I want to tell you that there's a special. We're doing a collaboration with Olsen's, where if you go onto their website and buy from their website, which is Olsen's Salt, olsonsalt.com.au. There's like 4 S's in their name, in their website. Put in the code MMCC10 at checkout and you get 10%. The other thing is we have an MMCC pack, which has 3 of the products that I only use in the kitchen. Cooking salt, fine table salt for baking, and the flakes, blossom flakes, which are amazing for all sorts of things, including on the table for serving. And then they sell these gorgeous canisters, which I love, which you can just keep refilling. And the pack, the MMCC pack, is $20. It's really good value. It's a lot of salt that will keep you going for a long time. And remember to put in MMCC10 at the checkout, okay? It's Olsen salt. You can use any other nuts you like, okay? I could honestly have walnuts in every single salad I make. I love them so much. You could have almonds, raw or roasted. You could have pistachios. You could have macadamias. You could have, there's lots and lots of things. Hazelnuts are just a nice change because, you know, in my house you get walnuts with everything, and it's, you know, enough with the bloody walnuts, they say. So, all right, I'm just really chopping them in half-ish. A few can stay whole. We want it very rustic. I'm just going to put those aside. I don't want them in with the parsley yet, because I'm not going to dress. Okay, so I've just set them aside for the moment. Again, I'm making a big mess here. That's all right. Okay, nuts. Let's get rid of that now. So we have got our cherry tomatoes halved and salted just to sit there and improve in flavour and sweetness, and some of the liquid will come out. I've got parsley, which I've chopped. Again, any herb you like. I've trimmed my asparagus, and I have an avocado. Now, I love avocados. I mean, I have a couple of friends who don't love avocados. I just don't understand it. To me, an avocado is just glory. It just adds something to every single salad, to every single, you know, toast an avocado, crackers an avocado, smoked salmon an avocado. I just love it, love it, love it. And I love a dip. Okay, so let's cut it in half. Let's hope and pray it's a good one, because they're not always. This is a Hass avocado, and I love it. I'm just going to take the pip out. Someone told me not to do it like that, because their sister cut their hand when they did, you know, that knife thing, so I do it very carefully. Yeah. So, Kepa Street Kitchen agrees with me. Avocado, it's it and a bit. Okay. I'm going to cut it in. You can actually scoop the whole thing out, or you can just do it like this, which is to cut it into cubes in the half. Doesn't matter which way. And then I'm going to get a little bowl. I'm just going to either tip it out like that into the bowl, or I could have done it with a spoon. Either way. I don't have a spoon here, so I was trying to avoid leaving you for a minute, which is fine. This works perfectly. The avocado is good ripeness, so it doesn't smush up when I do this. Sometimes it does. Okay, so it's actually a beautifully ripe avocado, and exactly what I want. You want your avocado for this dish to be firm but ripe, okay? So if I pressed it, it would squish, but it's not going to squish on its own, tossing with other salad, you know what I mean? And of course, always when you cut an avocado, the other way you could do it is actually just take the skin off first. You know, there's so many ways to peel an avocado. And you can see how lovely and ripe it is, and perfect. And even the sticker says, take me unripe. But yeah, more stickers. Stickers kill me. I know we've got to support the growers. I know we've got to know, but who gets annoyed? Like, why do they need stickers on every piece of fruit? Why? Tell me, someone. Yeah, okay, and then we're just going to cut it in half, and then again into, and I should do this on a board, and I'm just trying to stay with you. Okay, I'm going to do it on my bench actually, because my knife is very sharp. Okay, yum, avocado. And anytime you cut avocado and you're not using it immediately, you need to put lemon juice on it, otherwise it goes brown. So I'm just going to squeeze a bit of juice this morning, and I'm just going to toss just a bit, maybe a tablespoon of lemon juice in with the avocado, and now it can just sit there. So if I was doing this for friends, I would do all this separately for the moment, before they arrive or before your dinner time, and assemble it. You could actually assemble it half an hour before. It actually holds very well. All right, I have got my tomatoes and my parsley. I have my chopped nuts over there. I have my avocado, which has been lemon juiced and is sitting there nicely. Now we need to cook the bread. So this really turns this dish, and I was going to say ordinary because it's not ordinary, but to me it takes it to the next level. Adding fried bread to anything is just a win, okay? I know there are a lot of you out there who don't want to eat carbs at lunch or dinner or whatever. You know what, do what you've got to do. But adding bread to a salad, whether it's a toast with some little goat's cheese that you're going to put under the griller and then put on the salad, or whether it's what I'm about to do now, I think it just adds something very special. Unfortunately, I've got to get my board back because I need to cut off the crusts. Of course, you can leave them on, but I don't want to, okay? Because I want no crusts. Not sure why. I might try, you know what, I think it looks nicer without the crust for this salad, but if you want your crusts, leave them on by all means, okay? Yeah, I think we need a sticker boycott too, but how do you do that? I was so annoyed. I went to Coles a few weeks ago and I bought these mandarins that were packaged for kids' lunches. They were called kids' lunch mandarins or something. I shouldn't have even bought them, but I did because I love the tiny mandarins that used to come in the net bag years ago. And I bought them and got it home. Firstly, it's this plastic net packaging, which is terrible. And then not only that, but the labelling is like this big over the whole thing, plastic label. And I bought them and I was just annoyed. I shouldn't have bought them, but the mandarins were really good. So what do? You've got to not buy them. All right, fry pan on. We're going to put some oil in the fry pan. How much? Couple of tablespoons. Just cover the bottom, okay? We are using a bit of oil. Don't freak out. It's really good for you. It's good for your soul, okay? It's good for your health. It's good for everything. So eat lots of olive oil. And I'm going to tear these up. You could actually cut them if you want, but I'm looking for a really rustic salad. So I'm going to tear this bread up. And this is bread from... Oh yeah, we've been ordering dinner every couple of weeks from Arthur's in Surrey Hills, Sydney people. Actually never had heard of Arthur's before. And they do really nice food. We had ossobuco the other night and we ordered a loaf of their sourdough, which is really, really lovely and really sour, which I love. So I'm just tearing it up. You can fry off the crusts as well. They make a really nice snack. And I'm going to literally fry the bread. That's what I'm doing. You could do it in the oven. You could spray it with olive oil and do this in the oven. Actually easy to do. But I'm here on the stove today and using the stove, so why not? You know, and maybe you've used the pan for your hazelnuts and you've got the pan here anyway, and maybe you'll use the same pan for your asparagus. Okay, let's get rid of those crusts for the moment. Okay, so heat up the oil. All right, what's going on here? Yeah, so Midge 1010 does hers in the oven. Yeah, absolutely do it in the oven. I think you're going to get... Maybe it's easier to make it more fried in the pan, which is what I'm looking for today. I do lots of bread in the oven all the time, but I think today we're going to fry it, okay? So as soon as the oil's hot, and this is so delicious and dangerous to snack on. I shouldn't tell you that, but it really is. Let's see if it's ready. Of course, I want it to sizzle. I'm going to turn this around so you can see what I'm doing. Let's put that down there for a minute. Yeah, you can see that. All right, bread in. It's literally fried bread that we're making. I'm going to use fried bread. Okay. I'm just going to let it cook nicely. Put the chopping board aside. I'm just going to get a spatula. Okay. Yeah, exactly. 1 tablespoon a day of olive oil keeps the doctor away. And if it's 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons, that's even better, right? I love it. We go through buckets and buckets and buckets of olive oil in this house. Really buckets. All right, yum. Already smells so good. Now, of course, you can, you just need to toss it. We're just looking for golden brown bread. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on it because it's just yummy. Bit of salt. And you could, of course, get some paper towel and drain it. Okay, so I'm just going to read this, but I've got to go closer. From Kevin Street Kitchen, what I was told by a lot of producers is the only way we can know where it's coming from, as supermarkets do not display the country of origin of the product. That's why they put the stickers on. Yeah, I know. But it's still not ideal. I mean, imagine, think of the number of stickers that are going into our waterways and our everywhere, our compost. I don't know. I understand that, it's, the stickers aren't biodegradable, are they? I don't think they are. I don't know. I guess we can only do what we can do. All right, that's just about done. They look great. Let's take them off. And remember, every time you fry something, it'll keep cooking when you take it off the pan. So take it off just before, otherwise you're going to have very, very dark bread. Why did that take a minute? I will turn the fire off in 1 second. All right. Now, that's it, done. Now let's do asparagus. Okay. Before I cook the asparagus, I want to get everything ready. I need something to serve it on. I'm going to use today a board. You can use an asparagus shaped plate if you want. You can do something rectangular, whatever you like. I'm using a board, okay? Board is there. I have my asparagus here. I've got everything I need for this salad. Let me just, see, that was a bit silly. I chucked the hazelnuts in there. They're in that container. They're all good. I've got everything I need. I need some olive oil to dress it. And I need some lemon juice to dress it. And I need some salt. Let's cook the asparagus first, put it on the board, and then we'll talk about dressing the salsa and finishing it off, okay? So I want this to be hot. Now, your choice is this. You can do it on a barbecue. It works really well. What I suggest you do is to oil the asparagus rather than oil the pan. I just like to do that, especially in a ridged grill pan. I find it easier. So I'm going to cook the thin asparagus first, just to show you how quick it is. But what I want to do is, and I know I'm using a million bowls, but you know what? You can actually use less perhaps, but I'm going to put a bit of olive oil on the asparagus, just like that. A little bit of salt on it as well. And I'm just going to make sure that every spear is coated. And then as soon as my pan is hot, I'm going to lay them across. And I want, if you're using a ridged grill pan, put them across so you get the little char marks on the avocado, what's this called? Asparagus. It'll be better on the big one. It'll look better because you'll really see it. But this is lovely. And these are great on the barbecue as well. Hot barbecue, again. No, I want it to sizzle as soon as I put it on. Really sizzle, because these are very thin and they won't take long to cook. If you don't want to char grill it, you can boil them for a couple of minutes. You can steam them in a steamer. You can, that's probably about it. I know there's lots of ways to cook them. All right, let's go. Is that hot enough? And I try to line them up and keep them flat like that. Okay? And now you know that all sides of the asparagus are coated with oil. There's no need to worry about, is the top oily, is it not? It's just going to cook nicely, okay? I want them to cook in a couple of minutes. Now these big stalks are going to be more difficult. So let me just do this. I'm just looking for a container big enough to oil these giant bloody things, okay? So again, olive oil. This is the fat ones that I'm going to do in a second. Same thing, olive oil, salt, and just coat them nicely like that, okay? Yeah, they already look good. Okay. I'm going to set those aside. Be careful of plastic containers and your cooktop, okay? It's really easy to start a fire. I have a friend who started 2 fires that way. All right, you can see the asparagus is cooking nicely. I might need some tongs. Let's just pick up the first piece that I put on, and it's just starting to brown a little bit. But I want it to be, I want to see the char. Yes, of course, you can, Tanya, steam the asparagus. That's absolutely perfect. I love the charring of it. I think it adds another dimension. If you steam it, just try not to overcook it, because we don't want floppy asparagus. That's what we're trying to avoid. They need to be bright green. So if you're not serving it straight away and you're steaming it, I would actually steam it, plunge it into ice water just to stop it from cooking. if you're serving at room temperature. If you're serving straight away, of course, you know, go ahead. Hey Lizzie, good morning. Yes, you've missed it all. You've missed it all. You're going to have to go and watch it later. We are actually the last few steps of our asparagus salad today. Okay, the name of the salt is Olsen's salt. Okay, I'm going to show you. I know it's backwards, but that's it. My fingers are there. Okay, it's Olsen's, OLSSON''S. Go to their website. There's a Monday Morning Cooking Club pack, which has cooking salt, fine table salt, which I use for baking, and flaky sea salt called Blossoms, which is honestly brilliant. You've been using Malden for years, which I love, but let's buy Australian. It's an Australian family. They've been making salt since the 1950s. There's no chemicals added. They have ponds in Queensland and South Australia. It's a really good company. If you put in MMCC 10 at the checkout, you get 10% off. Okay, they're starting to steam. Now, you can turn each one over if you like, just like that. But I don't think I'm going to get much of a char on these ones, so I use a little bit. So I'm just going to do it like that, okay? And just cook them for another minute. And that's it. Remember that because they're going to cool down to warm or room temp, they're going to keep cooking, and I really don't want to overcook it. And like anything, the best way to tell for me if this is cooked is to have a taste, is to have a bite. You know, that's why when I cook things, only half of it ever makes it to the table because I've tasted it all day. So I would take a stalk like that. Oh, that's good. Done. Done, done, done. Onto my serving plate now. This is quite crisp, but remember, it's going to keep cooking as it sits there and cools down. Okay, I can very hot. Sorry for eating and cooking and talking all at the same time. Ready? I'm going to put the rest of the asparagus in now, the big ones. And the pan is really hot, which is really good. I just turned it down though, which is silly. Alright. These will be great. These are going to take another couple minutes though. Look. I hope these are good. I guess I can report back to you when I have a bite. Okay, these will fit nicely in this pan. It's great. These are great on a barbecue. Can I fit the last one in? Here we go. It's got a curve and I'm trying to squeeze it in there. Beautiful. Just about, yes. Okay. How's that look? That's really gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, looks really good. Okay, yeah, Deb says roasting asparagus is quite nice too. I haven't done it, but I think you'd want to use the fatter ones for that, wouldn't you? But it'd be lovely. Okay, so while our asparagus is cooking, I've got it on high. It's been tossed in olive oil and salt. You can add some pepper if you like as well. You know, just simple food, nothing fancy here. Very, very lovely. All right, got pepper in my throat. Okay, so we're just going to cook that for a few minutes. And while we're cooking that, I'm going to make the salsa because I think it's going to be delicious to have warm asparagus with this salsa. So let's go through everything we've got. We have got a bowl. Into my bowl, I'm going to, I want to drain, if you'll see from the tomatoes, we've got some liquid and I want to get rid of that, okay? Because I don't want to put that in my salad. So I'm going to just tip off the liquid that's drained from salting the tomatoes. And I'm going to put my tomatoes and my parsley into a bowl. I'm going to add all but a handful of hazelnuts. Okay, I'm keeping a handful for the garnish at the end. We're going to go fancy with the garnish today. And then I'm going to add in the avocado with the lemon juice. That's fine because we're adding lemon to the dressing anyway. And I'm going to put in the toast in a minute, okay? I'm now going to, now there's no measurements for this, and I know that you're going to get annoyed with me, but it's about 3 to 1 olive oil to lemon juice if I had to guess, okay? So, but I'm just going to drizzle, okay, quite generously, the olive oil. I've got my lemon juice which I've squeezed this morning, and I'm just going to drizzle again a little bit, just a bit. I'm going to salt it, and I'm going to give it a toss with my hands. It's interesting, this pan, when I cook it, the rubber handles burn and it smells like burning rubber. I don't like it. Anyway, so I'm going to toss this with my hands. There's a beautiful salsa, and of course I'm going to taste it. I'm going to taste if it needs more lemon, more oil, which way I've done it. Is it good? But what am I going to taste? I'll try a tomato. I'm happy with that. Always taste. I'm going to add in the bread, because I'm just going to serve it. If you were preparing it in advance, you would do everything except for the bread. Leave that out and toss that through at the last minute, because this is what you want the bread to sound like. Okay, you ready? So good. Okay. But you do want it to soak up the dressing a little bit, okay? Yum. It's really good. Let me wash my hands. Give me one sec. Just chat amongst yourselves for a sec. Okay. All right. Yum. How are we going? This is very, what is saying? Okay. Asparagus is cooking away. Let's have a look. See, that's exactly what I want. Okay. I want that charring. I'm going to turn them over now. And I want, they're like 10 in a bed lined up, and I need to turn them over so they're facing, they've got the same curve. Do you remember that thing? There were 10 in the bed and the little one said, roll over. That's what this is. Yeah, I'm not a singer, obviously. All right. They all curve in the same direction, so I'm trying to line them up. And these ones are going to take a good few minutes. I can feel they're still really hard. And you actually, I would love to do these on a really hot barbecue just for a few minutes. It would be amazing. I'm really interested to see if this asparagus is any good. I have no idea. I'm not sure if that's Michael with us from Kepos or Christy, so I can't. But I'd like to ask Michael, if it is you, have you ever cooked this fat asparagus, and what do you think of it? All right, so that's cooking beautifully, as you can see. I'm very happy with that. And here on my little board, I have the skinny asparagus, which now I want to tell you is a bit softer than it was before. I could have taken it off even earlier. Pretty good though. All right. What we need is a spoon. Okay, and I'm going to, I mean, this is too small a board. I actually don't like it on this board. I'm going to do something else. Sorry. So I want to put the big asparagus on that board, okay? So what you would do is put your asparagus onto a board or a plate, and then spoon this salsa on top of it. And I'm going to do one with the big asparagus. And, oops, very hard with one hand. And okay, so just like that, yep, all over everything. So that's pretty much what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to season it a bit more, drizzle a bit more olive oil over the top, and that is a mini asparagus with little skinny spears. But what I'm really excited about is this one, okay? Because these are looking fantastic. That one actually has not been trimmed. Okay. Now sometimes when they're big and fat asparagus like this, you do need to peel if some of the outside is a bit tough. But I think these are going to be, well, I hope they'll be alright. Let's see. How are they? Now, of course, because they're so big, I don't want to have a bite and eat a whole one. But that feels ready to me. Okay. So I'm going to now take those off and put them on my board. And remember, they're going to keep cooking, okay? That's the thing to remember. And I'm going to line them all up like 10 in a bed. That one looks a bit weird. Put that one aside. And it's so easy. And of course, like I always say to you, you know, I take an hour to do something that really can take you 10 minutes. You don't need to spend as long as I have. I've just been chatting along the way. Let's turn that off. Get that out of the way. Okay. And come back here with me. How are we going? Anyone cooking along today? I wonder if anyone is cooking along. Let me know if you are. Let me just fix this. fan on because it's actually, just give me one sec. It's very hot and it's very smoky. Let me just move this away from the phone. Bear with me one sec. Okay. Right. Done. Okay, so see. Asparagus on a board. Look, I do have to have a bite. No, I'll wait. I do want to try it, but I want to just show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my salsa, which I have tossed with olive oil and lemon juice, and the bread, and everything is in there. Everything. I mean, this is just magic. I mean, that's what makes this so good, actually. It's delicious. Okay. And now I'm going to put the salsa on top. Yeah, it's a lot of salsa. Yum. Big mess here, guys. Okay, salsa is on top. I'm going to drizzle it just with a tiny bit more lemon juice, a little bit of olive oil, like that. And my reserved hazelnuts, which will just look nice on the top. But, you know, you don't have to do that. That is my chargrilled asparagus with avo, tomato, and sourdough salsa, and I think that's a bloody great lunch, dinner. If you want to protein, add some protein to it, I would recommend something like a Meredith goat's cheese crumbled on the top would be amazing. You could even do it on a big platter and add some grilled chicken. You could add some fish. You know, it's a very good base to work from, and I think it's a winner. And I'm happy to share it with you because this looks so good that I just want to run away with this board and eat the whole thing. You know, open a bottle of rosé. What do you think? I think it's fantastic. So let's taste one of these asparaguses. Asparagus. I don't know how you say that. Let's see. Oh. That's really good. It's actually quite crunchy inside, and I don't know, I might like to cook it a couple more minutes, and I probably should have tasted one. Maybe not. It's really good. I'm happy with that. So that's it. Dish is done. I want to just remind you now that I've finished cooking. I can't stop eating this bread. It's so good. See, the bread's been in the dressing already for 5-10 minutes and it's not soggy yet. Because it's been fried well, it actually holds its crunchiness for a long time. I can report back in an hour if there's any left to see what that's like. I'm not sure, but that's what I love. It's got a lot of crunch and a bit of soaked up dressing, which is just, you know, heaven. I want to remind you, Olsen Salt, 10% for all their products. MNCC 10 into the chat thing. We're going to do a social media campaign, so you'll see that. There's the Monday Morning Cooking Club package, which is the cooking salt, the fine table salt, and the flaky salt, the 3 products that I love the most. And I've been leading up to this collaboration with them for ages and ages and ages. Those of you who have been with me on lives know I've been talking about it. And this container is a different thing, different product, but I love it because it's gorgeous. Linda, yes, of course, pepper on the top. I put pepper on the asparagus already, but of course, pepper the top as much as you like. Lovely, fresh, cracked black pepper would be amazing. Tomorrow we are doing probably my family's favourite salad of all time. Well, of all time since I've been making it in the last 6 years. Absolutely, it's quinoa, it's, I can't remember, herbs, fresh herbs, quinoa, quick pickled onions. It's fantastic. And we're going to serve it, we're going to go all out and have a can of tuna with it. It's going to be a quick lunch, but really my favourite salad. And then on Friday we're doing the blue orange salad, which is char-grilled chicken salad. We had it for dinner last night, so I could take a photo of it. It is so good. Honestly, Danny was eating it and going, like really, he was really, really happy with it. It was bloody delicious. So I'm very happy to share that with you. How many grams of salt in each pack? Have a look on their website at the Monday Morning Cooking Club pack. It's big. It's big. You get a big thing of cooking salt, 750 grams of flaky salt, and one of these 750 grams of in the salt tub. So they might all be 750 grams, and it's $20 for the whole pack. Jackie, good question. Should you have the quinoa cooked beforehand? You know what? No, we'll cook it together. How about that? If you want to cook it beforehand, do it, but we can cook it together. I think we've got enough time. We'll just get that on straight away and cook it together. I just want to talk you through the cooking of it and whatever, but if you want to do it ahead, by all means, go ahead. I also want to tell you that I have put on our website a new cooking, like a workshop just before Jewish Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year. We have this amazing cake in the book, a Russian honey cake, which looks like, I have to show it to you, it's amazing. I'm going to do a workshop and take you through step by step together. We'll do it together, not like this is sort of rushed and fun and whatever, but I mean like I did the chiffon cake and like I did the donuts, holding each other's hands step by step, making it so at the end of the session you're going to have this cake which needs 24 hours in the fridge till it's ready. It needs to soak in a bit, and that's on Sunday the 5th of September. I know it's Father's Day, but we're doing it at 11. It'll be like 90 minutes or so, and going to cook together. It's really worthwhile, and then you'll have it for New Year if you celebrate it on Monday night or Tuesday. It sits in the fridge for a few days. Really, really worth making and worth learning how to make it, and I'll show you how easy it is step by step together. So sign up on our website. It's Russian honey cake cooking class. That is it from me. I've got a few exciting things in the works, which I'll tell you about if you're on our newsletter, which is coming out this week, I think. If you haven't signed up, go to our website or go to our Facebook page and sign up for our newsletter. It's worth it. We don't send them out that often, and when we do, it's worthwhile. All right, I think that's it from me for the moment. Would like to chat to you a bit longer though. It's been fun. It's always fun, and I'm always sad to say goodbye. But onwards with the day. Everybody, please stay safe wherever you are. Stay home if you're in lockdown. Stay sane if you're in quarantine. And I'm here for you guys every day that I can do it. I'm absolutely here for you with the most delicious food that I can muster up, because we've all got to forget what's going on outside in the world and in Australia and just focus on our kitchen for an hour together. Loved seeing you all. Thank you for chatting to me. Thank you for cooking my dishes. I have got lunch sorted already. How good does this look? Who wants to come over for lunch? No one. No one's allowed. So I'm going to eat it all to myself. See you all tomorrow. Bye all.